right, welcome to Clermont County Municipal Court. This is a court of law. I expect appropriate behavior. This court will not tolerate any disruptions in the court process. Any violations of that instruction will result in a finding of contempt of court. Due to security concerns that we have, in any case, I'm asking everyone to remain seated unless law enforcement, except for the press today. I'm asking everyone to remain seated unless they're leaving the courtroom. Good morning, Mr. Stearns.
Good morning.
Ms. Smith, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I'll call first Charles Crawford, 2016 CRA 3332. Mr. Stearns, is he eligible?
He is, Your Honor, waive reading as a matter of set for preliminary hearing.
Good morning, Mr. Crawford. There are some things that I do need to review with you this morning, sir. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. I am appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you throughout these proceedings. You also have the right to preliminary hearing in felony cases, and I'll be setting the matter for preliminary hearing. You have the right to not make any statements. Anything you say may be used against you. And you do have the right to a trial by jury. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to Mr. Stearns.
As to bond, Your Honor, Mr. Crawford is 24 years old. Last residing in Hamilton Avenue with his grandmother. He is married. He does have a GED. He was employed at a time on cable approximately about 6 months ago.
Mr. Crawford, I neglected to make sure that you were aware of what you were charged with. You were charged with aggravated murder, a felony in the first degree. You understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Stearns. Ms. Smith?
Your Honor, as the court is aware, the allegations in this case are horrific. We have that the defendant has not only been alleged, but has admitted to his involvement with the death of his 4-month-old child, where he is alleged to have dropped the child into the Little Miami River. That's where eventually the 4-month-old was found. In addition to this, and I think more aggravating, is that after having engaged in this conduct, he then tried to cover up his alleged activities with calling the police and indicating that someone had kidnapped his child from his vehicle in her car seat. And those horrific allegations in this case, in addition to the fact that he was just recently convicted of an offense. It's listed as attempt, but we do know from the court records that it was a violent offense and that it was a TPO-eligible charge. He was eventually convicted of an attempt of that charge in January of 2016, and we also know from court records that he had a probation violation that was recently filed in March of this year, not too long after he was convicted of the offense. So I believe that in addition to the horrific facts, the allegations that he tried to cover it up by alleging that someone kidnapped his child, knowing all along that the child was deceased. In addition to that, he's on some type of court control out of another jurisdiction where he's alleged to have at least violated once since being convicted in January of 2016. We feel that he's a risk to himself, he's a risk to the community. The horrific nature of the facts that he admitted to it, the fact that he's under court control in another jurisdiction, or at least has had a PV filed as recent as 322, he is not a good risk to return to court. Given the nature of the offense, we are asking for a high cash bond in this case. And if he is by any means able to make a high cash bond in this case, we're asking for extremely restrictive terms on his bond, in that he would have to report and be on house arrest with electronic means.
You can't tell what that other offense is.
We have not been able to access that yet, Your Honor. But we do know it was TPO eligible.
Set this matter for preliminary hearing. Set bond at $2 million cash or professional. Mr. Crawford, if you post that bond, it will be a reporting bond, house arrest with electronic monitoring unit at your expense. You're to report at the discretion of the probation department, no illegal drugs, no alcohol, submit to a tox screen. And I am ordering no contact with any person under the age of 18 until further order of the court. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.